the principle is the same, rather the method is the same. China is also a lender, the same way a country like Uganda can lend us, or Tanzania can lend us, or European countries like Italy, Germany, all that. The difference with China and why it has become a very big conversation, it's because China, first they're very easygoing. You want money? Sawa, we'll give you money. They don't have conditions. They won't tell you, oh, you need to increase your taxes, like the way Evelyn has explained, or you don't need to reduce spending on your government. Then they're very, very open, whatever amount you need. They, of course, they do have their own methods of analyzing if you have the ability to repay your debt. However, it's not at the top of their agenda. The agenda, for them, they see it as a collaboration or a partnership. So we'll give you money, but you give us contracts, for example. You give us money, I mean, we'll give you money, but for us, for example, to construct a road, you give us the contracts to do that. If you want to, basically China, it's a give and take sort of arrangement, yeah? The other thing is most of their contracts, they have this, which we call a non-disclosure, right? So non-disclosure means they'll tell you, you cannot, this cannot be accounted for example, under the national budget or something, right? Or this is an arrangement with a separate commercial bank in China. It's not the Bank of China. I mean, it's not the government of China, but maybe it's a bank from China giving you the loan. But all this, it's still public debt that the Kenyan government has to repay. So the difference with China is that it is very flexible in how it lends. It's mostly development oriented. So watawapea pesa for development projects. Kwa sababu, out of that, they'll get the, they can manage these projects. They know they'll come to an end, because also another challenge with Kenyan government or African governments in general is accountability. You borrow, but you don't see where this money is going. So with China, and I think it's a mitigation thing that they do, rather than the conditions, they tell you, let us manage the project. So that's the difference with China. Also, with the interest rates, it varies. I can't say it's not concessional. Concessional means it's not very low interest, but compared to Eurobonds or commercial credit, their interest is at relatively low. But it's not concessional. Concessional means it's zero rate. It can be 0% or 1%, but you still be repaying a loan, like with the IMF and World Bank. So that's the difference with China. Yeah, and so the problem with China is that the transparency aspect of how these loans are procured. It's very under the table. People just go. You can see President Ruto, or he's a state visit. The next thing you know, China has agreed to give us a loan, right? Expressway, yeah, but you don't know the interest rates that was agreed. You don't know the terms. You don't know the period. So that is the problem with the Chinese loans. Their lack of transparency. They are not very open in how they are procured. But maybe Tom has got to add to that.
I think